Well, guys, what's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you. It's Thursday night. Well, this is your Thursday nights or Friday nights usually, whenever. But this week, I got to do it Thursday. Not as hectic of a week, do my usual scheme during the weeks, but nothing really, hold me back this week at all from doing this, around the usual time I do. So, welcome, guys, as always, to my top 10 special stream of the week. As always, most of these streams I do are most of my suggestions from my good loyal subscribers here on YouTube as well. And this one was another one. Now, I did have one in mind that I've been wanting to do for a while. I was going to do it this week, but then I thought, you know what, with how pissed off I was at Raw this week, with how bad it was. Of course, SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT were good though. I thought, I want to do something, talk about something, that's toned down, like not so much, these dream things, or my favorite this, my favorite that, worst this, worst that. No, I feel like, it's just something in between. Now, this one, I feel like, if I would have thought of doing this one sooner, I would have put out like a little poll saying, like, start laying out some, opinions, like, what are your thoughts? And I would gladly, share them in this video if you're not like live streamed as well, or you shared them somewhere else, on Twitter, or if you just talk to me on air, social media and whatnot, then maybe I could have done that. So I kind of wish I would have done that if I would have known this topic sooner than, just like an hour or two. And then, you know what? I'll do this topic and throw in a list together. But so let's get into this. So as you can see, the topic is the top 10 ways to improve the WWE product. Again, I believe it was Lauren who's suggested this one, or Larry. So one of my loyal subscribers did suggest one. So whoever did, thank you very much for the suggestion. So we don't in the live chat yet, but if anybody does join the live chat, feel free to start leaving your thoughts as well, your top 10 ways, or an unlimited amount of ways you feel that the WWE product needs to improve. Now, some of my answers I kept changing because I didn't want to have too many that were along the same lines. So most of them might tie into something else, but I think I have a good variety of things here to discuss in this special stream tonight. And once again, I look forward to your thoughts. And also, if you ever want to, do a video response to any of my topics I discussed in my special streams, or something discussed on Raw, or any of my topic videos that I may post here and there, feel free to do so, definitely. And just let me know so that way I can check it out and see what your response is as well. So here it comes. The top 10 ways to improve the WWE product. This is my list. We're going to start off with number 10. Now, this one, I feel, may be fixed like very soon. Hopefully. They just have to prove it to me. And I say the best way to do that would be in the show if what happens to Cedric Alexander after he drops the Cruiserweight Championship. But my number 10 is let 205 Live stars compete on other brands. Now, of course, again, 205 Live has been on a rise this year. It's, a lot better than it was, the past year or two that it's been around. But again, the thing that's still eating at me a little bit is the fact that are these guys going to be able to do more than just the Cruiserweight division? Not all of them, but a good amount of them, I feel, can compete, against the likes of, like, Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose or AJ Styles or Roman Reigns or Samoa Joe, or they compete against all those guys. Definitely, they could be Intercontinental Champion, World Champion, Tag Team Champion. So many teams, form tag team alliances, and those some of those guys include, like, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, Buddy Murphy. Kalisto maybe, but I still think he's just more fit for the Cruiserweight division. I think he's going to do much more outside of it. Who else have I missed here? Drew Gulak definitely is another one I feel he can do more than just 205 Live. Hideo Itami, a couple others, sure, I feel that could be worthy of it, but I feel like that once these guys reach the top of the Cruiserweight division, them just losing the titles, just like them just going back down the tubes and having like nothing else to really compete for, pretty much. And it's just pointless. Like, there's nothing fresh for them to do. So it's what this is before. I think we were lost at Cruiserweights since Triple H took over. Last year we lost Neville, Austin Aries. I can't remember, maybe another one. Or Rich Swann, but that was due to the instance he had. Enzo Amore doesn't count because, again, he wasn't really much for Cruiserweights. I know what they're trying to do with him, but again, the thing that just bothered me about was the fact that, Enzo Amore was apparently not well liked backstage and whatnot. So why would they give him a championship in a division that's much more about the wrestling ability, and of course Enzo didn't really have that because the show is more character driven and not so much focused on wrestling like it is now. That's what happened slump. But I'm sure a lot of superstars would not leave to like I bet you any money if Triple H did not take over 205 Live, Hideo Itami, I bet you any money would probably be gone by now. And a couple others I'm sure wouldn't be around either that is on 205 Live. But yeah, I want them to see that there's just guys in the cruiserweight division again that deserves to be more than just 205 Live superstars. They deserve to be competing on Raw or SmackDown. Heck, a couple of them, if you want to send them back to NXT before they go to Raw or SmackDown, fine, that's completely cool with me. But I don't want to see some of these guys limited to just the cruiserweight division. So that's my number 10 on the list, is let 205 Live superstars compete on other brands and not just 205 Live. See if I got a live chat. Nope, no one yet. That's fine, but we'll keep going on here. So that's my number 10. Number 9 is one, of course, you're surprised I have this low on this list, but I feel like it's not as important as, well, it kind of is, but as most of the ones that are a little further up. But number 9, of course, is you got to put Raw back to 2 hours. I'm sorry. Here and there, Raw has shown, well, under better writers, we could maybe pull off a 3-hour show since Raw always has the bigger roster. Then again, I'm sure if Raw back to 2 hours, both Raw and SmackDown would even out their rosters for the most part. But 3 hours of Raw, they're not able to put on a consistent, watchable show. Last year, Raw was not that much watchable until, the summer when SmackDown started to dip. And Raw actually was not, it never hit the level of SmackDown that SmackDown was in 2016 and a level it's getting to right now. But it was at least somewhat watchable and somewhat intriguing. And now Raw is just flat out awful. Well, one, because of, there's a lot, Raw got a bunch of, low card names in the Superstar Shakeup this year. And two, the only thing that matters on the show is Roman Reigns, of course, which we'll talk about that later on as well. But it's just too much to write for. Even Triple H himself said that third hour of Raw is really tough to write for. Because for a while, it looked like they were only writing for 2 hours, and the third hour looked like crap. Prime example would be an episode of Raw last summer. Well, you kind of say 2 summers ago now because this summer's almost over. Well, not technically till end of September, which, again, first day of fall, usually my birthday, people. Anyways, I remember there was an episode of Raw I went to live in Pittsburgh last July, the July 31st, 2017 episode of Raw. First 2 hours, solid. Fun show. They loved it. They booked the match that should have been the main event before the 10 o'clock hour. Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. A great triple threat match. And when that match ended, it's like, okay, you could have ended the show right there. The last hour, we got Kalisto and Elias. Got like 1 or 2 other things. And then the main event was Big Show and Big Cass, which ended how all Big Show and Big Cass matches would end, with Enzo Amore interfering. It was that third hour was garbage. If you tone it down to 2 hours, you don't have as much content to write for. And I mentioned this how many times? You wouldn't have to go to the next level with every single story every single week. NXT does not do that. NXT, goes to level 1 week. Then the next week they recap what happened. They said, well, in a week or two, we'll get this person come back live. This person will be in action with this person to eventually contend for this title, whatnot. It's not like, it keeps you like, wanting more, not having more on there. It doesn't even want anything else. Less is more, but according to Vince McMahon, no, we got to just, to throw so much on there. We got to make every show a big show. Well, it does not work that way, though, Vince. And look where your product is now, especially Raw. Raw is just garbage right now. But that is my number 9. Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. We got Robbie in the live chat. Robbie, what is up? He said he took a troop to Bexplex City, and I want to go again. I would like to join you on that trip, Robbie, if you don't mind. And he also says, "Oh, Wendy." Seriously, next time I go to Wendy's to get something to eat, I may just do that just for the hell of it. Oh man, that's still. I wonder if that's a GIF yet on Twitter or anything. I gotta look, but But yes, that was up, Robbie. But yeah, that's my number 9 is Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. Number 8 on my list of your top 10 ways to improve your WWE product. It's more creative with appearance. Now, what I mean by that is I'm talking about, like, the stage. Obviously, they changed Raw and SmackDown a little bit when the Superstar Shake, when the brand split first came back. Okay, they both each have their own stages in some ways, except for whenever they're back-to-back nights, they use the SmackDown stage, which looks a little lazy, but whatever. But like pay-per-views, besides WrestleMania, make SummerSlam have like a special looking stage. Make Money in the Bank have a special looking stage. Hell in a Cell could have a fancy looking stage as well. Like something just different. Bring back pyro or something like that. But no, we gotta save all the pyro for Roman Reigns' big entrance at WrestleMania for everything. Everything just looks so boring without the pyro. Or even some people, one person I talked about a lot in my 205 Live reviews is Hideo Itami. New ring gear, because his ring gear, I mean, don't get me wrong, Itami's doing great on 205 Live now. Again, he's coming out as more of a brutal heel. He's not really finishing matches. He's just showing off how he can literally take someone out. Literally, he doesn't need to just pin them. He can just knock them out if he wants to, pretty much. But something a nitpick I have about him is the fact that his entrance, I don't mind his music. He comes out, does nothing fancy, and his ring gear just looks basic and plain. Like, get some more creative. Get something that makes you see that gear and you think, oh, that's Hideo Itami's gear. Or like Bobby Roode has like his robe. Yes, I know Bobby Roode's just an entrance right now and he's hit rock bottom, but you know what? He has his robe. He has his entrance with the whole glorious thing. Okay, that's creative and whatnot there. Mustafa Ali with the light. Finn Balor with his with the demon entrance whenever he comes out. A few others as well. But I say get more creative. But stage with your stage design. Bring back pyro, and again, get a little more creative with your entrances, and even with your ring outfits and whatnot. Like nothing, like don't make it look so basic, like looking like anybody can just throw on like a pair of shorts and a regular t-shirt, or if you don't wear a t-shirt, of course, we wrestle, and just go out there. Get creative, like have something that has each performer have them on it, and not just just throw on a pair of white shorts or something like that and just go out there and wrestle. I mean, if it's part of your gimmick, then it works. But get a little more creative and spice up a little bit, because it's going to make people a lot more invested in you as a wrestler itself. So that is my number 8. More creative with appearance. Number 7. This is directed towards Vince and the commentators. Quit promoting everything so high. How many times do we hear, oh, this is going to be one of the greatest main events of all time. Oh, this is going to be one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time. This is going to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. This is going to be the greatest main event of all time. Oh, no one ever thought of that tag team match between Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler last week. Quit acting like everything is the greatest thing ever. Because, of course, you can't do that. I'm not saying, set expectations low. Just say, okay, it's not going to be having a tag team match between this and this person. Like, if it gets like big mega stars, if Shawn Michaels and Roman Reigns are Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles were advertised to collide for a match. Then you can say this could be one of the greatest matches of all time against two of the greatest superstars of all time, who, no doubt about it, already stable their legacy in there, and people want to get behind it. But we feel like Roman Reigns and I don't know who, Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal, they'll say this will be one of the greatest main events of all time. No, Roman Reigns, although again is talented, is booked like crap, and people don't want to see him on our TV anymore. And Jinder Mahal was literally, as I keep saying, they tried to make gold from poop with Jinder Mahal. So now he just looks absolutely silly. So no one wants to see him at all. And not even backstage doing his Shanti. And then, of course, overexposure as well. How many times are you going to mention that they're going to be having an all-women's pay-per-view? Yes, I understand it's going to be mentioned on the show here and there. But when you mention it like 50 times a show and have to promote everything, how many times each show, it gets annoying and it drives you nuts, and it's going to make us not want to hear your voice ever again. So you gotta stop like hyping everything up so high. Right? So I'm not saying this makes it, oh, this is not gonna be a great. Be like, oh, we're having this match. Like, oh, we're gonna have one of the greatest tag team matches of all time. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Nobody could have thought of that at all. Nobody. Like, you gotta just stop. Like, you can't do that because again, it makes you feel like, oh, our expectations should be really high for this when we're not stupid enough to know that we can't set our expectations so high. But again, you're just sounding like an idiot who just thinks you can make us like spoon feed us everything. Like, oh, this is gonna be the greatest thing of all time. We don't believe you. So that's why it's my number 7 on this list. Quit promoting everything so high. Get a quick drink. Oh, I'm a little tired. Let's check my number 6. Actually, we got we actually I'll read this chat some questions from Robbie. From Robbie really quickly after I do number 6. So I get halfway through. My number 6 is one I've talked about a couple times before in my brand split thoughts videos I've done here and there, and a couple other things here. I mentioned how many times, especially again if they do want to start a certain other division rumored to be happening, the women's tag titles. But my number 6, merge some of your divisions, particularly the tag divisions and the women's division. Not saying, I mean, you could have just just the tag teams on one brand and women on the other, or if you want to have still have them split, have just the one champion go back and forth. Like, you don't need 2 tag champions. You don't even really need 2 world champions also. There should only be one main champion of the whole product. Yes, there are 2 different shows, but that's because the talent is stacked. And yes, you could I understand, you have oh, this person's a champion here, and if there's no champions on one show, then it's going to feel pointless. Like, I kind of felt that way at first when SmackDown only had just the world title and the Intercontinental title, no women's or tag titles. But then they added in, I'm like, all right, I guess they're going to be doing that, give the people opportunities. But then again, it's like, who's the true champions here? Like, who are really, should we really be considered champions? And also because it, let me see here. It's going to be something we're going to talk about shortly. Also, it takes away from the idea of having non-wrestling feuds at pay-per-views because we have so many championships. And even though you don't have to have every single championship on a pay-per-view every time, they still do that. And because of that, we don't get too many non-championship feuds. And I've realized with championship feuds, the writers get so lazy to just make about, okay, this person's getting a match for a chance to become this champion. Okay, but we've seen that how many times. Now add some type of story or add something a little more to get invested to, and not just like, oh, they're having a championship match. Okay, but why should I care? But yes, it works for some simple storylines. But people with bigger names, you want to see more than that. You don't want to see just that. So and like I said before too, when I discussed one of my brand split videos, that one thing I've been disappointed with the brand split is the fact that it's not creating too much competition between the brands. Like, they're on their own, and then as soon as Survivor Series comes around, oh, Raw and SmackDown all of a sudden hate each other. They want to take each other out. Well, we get that every single year, and it makes Survivor Series feel like it can only be so much that it's like it's just bragging rights. Like like, what are we going to get out of this? Like it's like Raw gonna get like 2 draft picks from SmackDown if they win, or is are they going to get a couple spots in the Royal Rumble, or are they going to get the main event of WrestleMania or something like that? If you know what I mean, like just something there other than just bragging rights every single year now. So I feel like at least merging some of these divisions, not as many titles. It could also help with some we're going to be discussing it probably shortly here. Also, I won't say it yet, but to me, you don't need all these titles. It feels too much. And then, if they cut down, on they'll have one tag title, one women's title, one world title. You can have an Intercontinental and US champion, one on each brand. Or, well, you have like a mid-card champion on each brand. That's fine there. But if you want to put in the women's tag titles, then you can probably, do that. Do that now. Of course, you got to be careful when you book them after a while. Because, could have the brand split drop, which, I started seeing some cracks in it, but I still personally think the brand split should not drop again, because if the brand split drops, then it's going to take away a lot of more opportunities. And yeah, the fact that, at least, going back to just dual branded pay-per-views have cut back on, on how many pay-per-views we have. It's like there's like, like 20 pay-per-views a year. There's only just one a month, that's fine with me. But at the same time, it's taking away opportunities from other people, and it's also affecting, other pay-per-views as well, which I'll explain why shortly. But that is my number 6 on this list, is merge divisions. So far, my numbers 10 to 6. Number 10 is let 205 Live stars compete on other brands. Number 9 is put Raw back to 2 hours. Number 8, more creative with appearance. Number 7, quit promoting everything so high. Number 6, merge divisions. Check the live chat again. Robbie said, one change I think would definitely benefit everyone in WWE is a more family environment where nobody has to worry about politics and just fun to go work each day. Build a stronger wrestling brotherhood / sisterhood. I definitely do agree with that. Yeah, that's definitely a good point there. And how surprised were you by the announcement of Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell? A little surprised, because I really thought that they were going to go with Styles and Joe inside Hell in a Cell. I mean, they could pull off a swerve here and have like 3 or 4 Hell in a Cell matches, which not really 4 honestly. But I feel like their feud is somewhat worthy of Hell in a Cell. I thought there was more going towards a Street Fighter Extreme Rules match. Again, I'd rather have it be Joe and Styles inside Hell in a Cell, but if it's to give like Hardy his Hell in a Cell match, because I believe he has not yet wrestled inside Hell in a Cell, then fine, I can forgive it this time. And I do feel one with Orton as a heel and with better writing, because I cannot say this enough. I completely disagree with the fact that Road Dogg has any part of SmackDown whatsoever. There's no way with how good SmackDown has been this past summer, going into continuing on now into the fall. There is no way Road Dogg is taking any part in that show. No way. I cannot believe it at all whatsoever. So I definitely, wouldn't have been wanted Hell in a Cell for Orton and Hardy. Would have rather had an Extreme Rules match or street fight, but I guess I can forgive it in some ways, in my opinion. But that is pretty much it for the live chat for now. Thank you, Robbie. Let's get back to my list. Number 5, tone down the pay-per-views. For the longest time, we kept saying a cutback on pay-per-views. I mean, yeah, we could cut back on a couple of pointless ones. I feel like, why are they even happening? I mean, having one a month is fine, I feel. But now look at them all. They're all 4 hours. WrestleMania is 5 hours now. Not including the freaking pre-show, which I don't even bother to watch anymore. I only put it on if I have absolutely nothing else to do, and I just put it on in the background. That way, something is on the TV pretty much. That's the only way, I would be putting on the pre-show. I wouldn't be paying attention that closely to it at all, but, it is what it is there. But not just that, also, but like I said before, we have how many titles now? So we have how many title matches there? And it takes away from, the non-wrestling, non-title feuds that obviously, are more interesting, because they actually have to have actual stories for us to get invested into them wanting to have a match, instead of just, walking into Bob and Charlie saying, oh, let's fight and keep going. You know what I mean? It creates more interesting stories, and it makes the pay-per-view more interesting. Another thing is also your shows are just too long. 10 to 12 matches every single pay-per-view is just too much to take in. It burns you out. The crowd is tired after a while for watching it. So card structure, of course, is very important when it comes to bigger shows like that. It's stacked, don't get me wrong, but the pay-per-views are just, they're just having them all being 4 hours doesn't make SummerSlam feel special, doesn't make the Royal Rumble feel special, doesn't make, Survivor Series feel or Money in the Bank feel too special, because they're all 4 hours long. And of course, WrestleMania, 5 hours long. It just burns you out. It's too long. It's not easy to sit through, especially if you have a history of not putting on a solid show all the time. So that's why I feel they need to just toe back on the pay-per-views. Don't have every single title on the pay-per-view. At least put it back to, like, 3 hours or 2.5 hours. The B pay-per-views be like 2.5 hours. NXT pay-per-views are 2.5 hours, and they feel fresh. They have 5 matches on there that feel like worthwhile, waiting for pay-per-view. Yeah, here and there you may get like a pay-per-view worthy match in the main event of NXT that's awesome, but they saved the best for the NXT takeovers, which is exactly how it should be. So that's why I think they need to improve on that. That's why my number 5 is tone down the pay-per-views. Number 4, better character development. Now, it seems like that they are waking up a little bit with the whole idea of Becky Lynch being a heel. Now they're seeming to tone her down to being just like, an anti-hero, and just letting them be, like what the crowd is seeing as natural. Becky Lynch, has worked so hard to get to the top, and then Charlotte walks like right in and back in, and she is all of a sudden in the title picture after barely doing anything to earn that title shot besides pinning the champion. If I was Becky, I'd be pissed, and the crowd can get behind that. Yeah, Charlotte's a good wrestler, and Charlotte has a good reason, be upset too. It's like, well, I want opportunities too. I'm not going to lay down for anybody, but Becky obviously, has worked hard to get to the top, but she came up short. But I'm sorry, I want my title too. There was only so much she could say. There was only so much Becky could say, and that was established perfectly on SmackDown this past week. But then, no, we're like, having people just like, just showing up, people who WWE is wanting us to hate, we're not hating them. But the ones who want us to like, we're disliking them because they're making us feel forced. They are trolling with us, it feels like, after a while. And other people are suffering around it. We'll talk about that more in my number 2 reason as well. But, yeah, it's like, like, don't do the scripted promos, like, also, like, pretty much, let the people be them. Like, when it feels natural and more organic, that's what we can get behind. Where it feels scripted and it feels like, we're trying to, force to get behind something that just sounds like crappy and whatnot, then it's not going to work. And, it's what causes people to, get put into the doghouse pretty much and not see the spotlight anymore. But that's why it's by number 4. Better character development. If you're gonna be a heel, you gotta have good reasons to make the audience hate you. If you're a baby face, you gotta come across as like a hero, somebody that the audience is gonna rely on and want to see overcome all the odds. Not have a bad guy get cheered and whatnot, and someone who's supposed to be a hero get booed pretty much. Like it's a weird dynamic. Again, I said before, some people when they're heels are more of anti-heroes, and if they can make that work and not just bash the crowd, then, kudos to them. Such as AJ Styles is more of an anti-hero rather than a heel when he turned heel in 2016 before he turned back to being a face, again, after he feuded with Shane McMahon. Tommaso Ciampa, did a heartbreaking moment. Of course, to get the fans to, grow to hate him, and he just developed the heat on him, not just, just go out there, just, do the same thing every single week like Stephanie McMahon does, make everything about her, just verbally attacking everybody, and then don't get any comeuppance on her, and it just drives you nuts. But so yeah, that is why character development is very important. That's why it's my number 4. Number 3 kind of ties into also what I talked about too with character development, and no more scripted promos, or not having so many championship matches and having, more non-championship matches at pay-per-views, because it creates better stories. Number 3, write better stories. Like, don't just keep recycling the same thing over and over again. Bring something different to the table, something that's going to intrigue the audience, something that's going to leave a hook every week, and want you to see more of what will happen next, and not just burn us out with the biggest moment, that the first week we have 3 weeks of pay-per-view, and it's show up, they're there, they either just repeat themselves or just get into a random fight for no reason at all whatsoever. Storytelling is important. It's a concept. It's something that gets you to follow it. If there's no story, then why are we gonna care? We're gonna have Bobby Lashley again come out and continue to just just walk in and let people just pounce all over him pretty much, and there's not taking anything seriously by constantly walking and going, Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. And just coming out every time, Elias was bashing him, and just chill there and just let Elias just come to him and just beat the crap out. Why not just go out there and attack him first, pretty much, It's just like there's nothing to it. And then, of course, the story with, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar this year. At first, I was fine until Reigns lost WrestleMania. I'm like, okay, the match was bad. There's no reason why he should get another opportunity. Well, he's had an opportunity for no reason whatsoever. Like, these storylines do not make any sense we are getting. We need better story, more interesting writings. It's going to want to keep us, alerted and what's going on with the products. That's why that's my number 3 is write better stories. And I'm yawning right now, so sorry about that. Number 2, end the Roman Reigns push. The babyface push they're trying to make him be. Obviously, if they want to make Roman Reigns like an anti-hero or whatnot, fine. If they want to make him a tweener, fine. In rules where he's kind of had more of like an edge to him. I'm not saying this him just, cussing every 2 words, but like where he he doesn't feel like he's like, 1, being scripted, and 2, he's himself and not John Cena 2.0. Then again, he's more interesting. Just, look back at his feud with Braun Strowman. Look at his feud with AJ Styles. Even, the build for the match with John Cena at No Mercy last year. It was like, it was like, it was like a natural approach pretty much to that. And it got me like, okay, I get invested in this match, whatnot. But when you book him like, you did this year, feel like, nothing on Raw is ever going to be a thing until Roman Reigns gets his moment. He beats Brock Lesnar. It was a really weak-looking way to beat Brock Lesnar. It was like the Brock just literally just like, laid down, let him just pin him. Like, okay, take the title. I got my money. I'm done pretty much. But now you're booking him as like, okay, he's the champion. He beat Brock Lesnar. You should be getting cheered like he's some type of big hero. And now you're going out of your way to try to get him to be cheered by having the Shield tag along with him. Well, now the Shield is starting to get booed also pretty much. And I'm starting to get a bad taste for the Shield because they're only out there for Roman's benefit only, to try to force us to like him, when then again they came out and attacked Braun Strowman, a guy who we've wanted to see champion, and cashed in successfully that Money in the Bank contract, which he's going to cash in and face Reigns at Hell in a Cell. I can see him not winning a match though, but so we had to turn Braun Strowman heel because Roman Reigns supposed to be the big Superman of WWE. It's put Raw on lockdown pretty much. It's toned everyone down, and no one else is going to get what they want until Vince gets what he wants. And that's Roman Reigns being, the big hero of Monday Night Raw. So again, Raw was already locked down enough with Brock Lesnar being Universal Champion, and then they're just not giving any other opponent except for Roman Reigns, even though, again, Bobby Lashley beat him at Extreme Rules, but we're supposed to forget about that because Roman Reigns is still going to get a chance to get into the match. Oh, look, he took advantage of the opportunity, and he won, which we knew he could have easily won. Vince, you stupid idiot. But yeah, so I'm not going to say it anymore because I talked about that how many times, but that's why it is my number 2. End the Roman Reigns babyface push. That's my number 2. Let's go through 10 to 2 before we get to my number 1. Number 10, let 205 Live stars compete on other brands. Number 9, put Raw back to 2 hours. Number 8, more creative with appearance. Number 7, quit promoting everything so high. Number 6, merge divisions. Number 5, tone down the pay-per-views. Number 4, better character development. Write better stories. Number 3. Number 2 is end the Roman Reigns babyface push. And number 1, put Triple H in charge. Vince McMahon, you're 73 years old now. I believe you just turned 73 the other week. You're out of touch. You're writing things for your own entertainment. You are treating this product like it's your own playground. You got to get that stubbornness out of your head, thinking that, we're the biggest thing going on here. You know what? If you are the biggest thing going on, then cool. Congratulations. But you're not being very humble about it. You're just being a fool of yourselves, taking in all the money you can. And instead of just actually, trying to still put on, an entertaining product to make you go to being a billionaire instead of being a millionaire, and you're just, just It feels like, you're literally just like playing your own little game and doing whatever like you want, and the crowd hates what you do, but what do? You still troll with us to begin with. Hence, Roman Reigns entering the Royal Rumble in 2017 at number 30. Hence Daniel Bryan being eliminated from the Royal Rumble match in 2015 early, saying, "We know it hurts," and having Goldust come out immediately afterwards to shatter dreams, and then having Roman beat Daniel Bryan at Fastlane, and Daniel Bryan comes out and has to put over Roman Reigns, saying how he's so great. I can't wait to tag with Roman Reigns later on in this 5-on-2 handicap match we're going to be having later on. That's all you, Vince. It was a bad idea to bring Seth Rollins back as a heel because the crowd was behind him. They wanted him to come back, and instead he had them go out there and tell the crowd pretty much screw you all pretty much. But all you had to do is have Seth Rollins say that Roman Reigns admitted, "I am more popular than you are." That's all you had to do. But nope, Vince in his stubborn ways just wants to make everything, nothing be better than Roman Reigns. Raw has to be, the flagship show. SmackDown doesn't mean crap then. But no, I'm sorry, SmackDown does mean crap then. This is going to Fox on Friday night, starting in October 2019. And they're getting $2.5 billion for the TV deal as well over a 5-year span. Where Triple H is taking pride in his work. He's writing interesting storylines. Like, you can tell, like, even whenever he has his little, flower ceremonies and whatnot, or giving people like little awards and recognitions, or coming out and recognizing the crowd, giving the respect to Cedric Alexander in the Cruiserweight division and whatnot. Triple H knows what's up. He knows what the crowd wants, and he acknowledges it as well, and he makes everybody feel like they're important on that show, which is why he needs to take over and write these stories. Is he perfect? By all means, no, he is not perfect. Like, if you heard Chris Jericho's interview when he's talking about the Festival of Friendship, how when Vince wasn't there at the Festival of Friendship, and Triple H thought that the list of KO thing was a little too comical, so he thought of taking it out. I'm sure Triple H has made some of his mistakes all the way, and there's a couple of small things at NXT here and there. I find things I'm like, not too crazy about this thing. I don't know what it is, but you know what? Not everything can be 5 stars or amazing or the greatest of all time, as we hear promoted how many times on the main product. But Triple H knows what's up. He knows what is important for business, and he knows how to make stars as well, build new ones as well, and make people feel important. So that's why that is my number 1. Triple H needs to take over. I'll read my list one more time before I go to the live chat, and then if we're good there, we will check out. So my top 10 ways to improve the WWE product. Number 10, let 2 of 5 live stars compete on other brands besides the Cruiserweight division, as most of them deserve more than just the Cruiserweight title. Number 9, put Raw back to 2 hours. Number 8, quit promoting everything so high. Oh, it's going to be one of the greatest things of all time. Hey, did you hear that we're having a pay-per-view called Evolution? It's for all women. 2 minutes later, hey, we're on a pay-per-view called Evolution. Did you hear it? It's going to be an all-women show. Quit promoting things too high. Quit saying everything's the greatest of all time. Number 6, merge your divisions. Again, we don't need 2 world champions or 2 tag champions or 2 women's champions. We need just 1. It will open up for more space for other storylines to be thrown in there, and it will make the champion feel like they are that big. Instead of just 2 champions, feel like, okay, who's really the true champion here of the entire product. Number 5, tone down pay-per-views. Don't make pay-per-views so long, and don't have 10 to 12 matches on them all the time, and most of them being championship matches. It takes away from everything else. Number 4, better character development. Number 3, write better stories. Number 2, end the Roman Reigns babyface push. And number 1, put Triple H in charge. Check my list. We got Killer Games and King Larry joining us. Kind of a little bit late, guys, but it's completely fine. But he says, Mike, hey, cool that you're here right now. Cool topic. Roman Reigns destroys everything. The agenda brings down other wrestlers and their sources. Vince manipulates the storyline matches lengths except for Roman. That's pathetic. And funny thing was, the matches, again, the matches that Roman has against people that, you know, we don't really want to see him have matches against, such as, like, you know, Brock Lesnar, or, like, no offense, at WrestleMania 33, The Undertaker. I mean, I wanted to see him and Triple H. Like, again, since there's some newer guys in the live chat here, Triple H and Roman Reigns was a dream match I had since the Shield and Evolution feuded. And when they ruined that storyline and put on a crap fest at WrestleMania 32, I was pissed. Like, that could have been a good match, but in this match, I would have wanted to see. But I didn't want to see Roman Reigns face Undertaker. I didn't want to see Roman Reigns face Brock Lesnar. Like, matches where it's like, you know, nobody obviously wants to see. You don't even try. But Roman Reigns to have good matches against guys like, you know, Seth Rollins, against guys like, you know, Finn Balor recently. Their match on Raw for the Universal title was actually pretty good. I know Finn didn't win, but put over the match was still pretty good. Well, him and Braun Strowman have had good matches. Of course, you know, usually it's whenever Roman's getting put over. Like, you know, whenever, again, Samoa Joe should have beaten Roman Reigns at Backlash this year, no doubt about it. He beats them like crazy and then just does rest holds the rest of the match. You know, that was a bad match. Roman Reigns, Jinder Mahal, nobody gave a crap about it, just crap out the whole time. Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns actually didn't put on too bad of matches, both the matches that they had. But of course, you know, the one that Bobby won meant nothing, and then the one Roman wins means the thing. Oh, Roman's gonna go fight for the Universal Championship. No, we don't care. But yeah, you know, just, you know, the fact that, you know, Vince is trying to make everything not be better than Roman is hurting the product as well, especially on the Raw brand. Yeah, which is why, you know, probably, you know, all these low card guys got moved over to Raw so that they can, you know, tone down the star power pretty much. But yeah, that is pathetic. Killer Games says notifications aren't working properly, and he says TV 14 will improve WWE. That's an honorable mention. Bring back like PG-13, make it PG-13, TV 14, like add a little more edge to it. You know, kids play video games that have, you know, blood in there. It doesn't have to be, you know, excessive or gory, but, you know, people bleed. You can put a little bit of blood in there, here and there, to add the effect. You can do some, you know, extreme movements, you know, here and there. Nothing like, you know, like that's like, you know, too much or whatnot, but you can put in something, you know, a little more, you know, out of the ordinary, a little more edgier here and there as well, which, you know, this was never meant to be a kids show. I mean, yes, you know, there's some people, you know, that are like, you know, the Baileys, or, you know, even like a Daniel Bryan, or like, you know, an underdog character, you know, it's meant for, you know, people to look up to them and think that could be me someday, whatnot. But not everybody needs to be like that. TV 14 and PG-13 definitely need to come back and stop with this whole, you know, oh, we can't say blood, we gotta say acidic liquid, or, you know, Vince's other, you know, little terms, like you can't say belt, it's a title. You can't say briefcase, it's a contract. You can't say wrestling, it's sports entertainment. Like, seriously, I someday want to literally just sit in Vince's office, look him dead in the eyes, and just go, wrestling, belt, briefcase, and whatever other word he cannot stand it all whatsoever. Just to piss him off. It's like, am I really going to hell by saying all this? Pretty much, you know what I mean? But yeah, TV 14 is actually a good one. Killer Games. YouTube stuff, or at least some part of it. He's recommended. Everybody give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Killer Games, he's playing 2K, making Roman good. Go for it. Making him a heel. Allow blading. Yeah, definitely allow blading again for him, you know, for the blood. And PG definitely does suck. I do agree, King Larry. I'll give you guys another minute or so to leave any more thoughts on any other ways you feel the product needs to be improved. But of course, I'll get my plugs out here real quick. As always, guys, if you enjoy what you see, as always, again, I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm under 100. I'm at 937 last I saw. Again, thank you. Also, shout out to King Larry again, also for making a short little promotional video on his channel to promote my channel. Again, very cool of you, man. Again, I shared it on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you may follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. If you like the video, again, please click that like button. If you want to, you know, do a video response to any of my topic videos, even like this one, you want to share your ways you feel the WWE product needs to be improved, you know, definitely share that as well. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Again, this weekend, well, no, we're having two special plans this weekend, or then maybe some more Shabs 3000, maybe some other little odds and ends here and there. Who knows? Maybe a topic video. I'm not sure. But next week back here for Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live NXT reviews. another special stream. Not sure what it's going to be yet. And then nothing else really yet, because we still have another week until Hell in a Cell. So no predictions yet for the pay-per-view, which will be on September 16th. Week for my birthday. But yeah, guys, again, thank you again for King Larry and Killer Games to join me live. Let's check one more time. My Vince impression is always spot on. Thank you. Yeah, PG is okay, but yeah, very cool that you share my video, Mike. You're awesome, as the Miz would say. So, who Mike Mizanin does also. Hey, people named Mike actually are pretty cool after all, guys. Well, some people tell me they don't know too many cool people named Mike. I'm like, well, I'm here, but that is true. I do not know too many other good people by the name of Mike in my life, honestly, besides me and, well, my dad also. My dad's name is Mike also. King Larry says the Shabs videos are so relaxing to watch for some reason. Haha. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, those mods are pretty fun to play. And then he only has Facebook, no Twitter. No worries, King Larry. Not a problem at all. But I think that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you again to Robbie, which I also get the plug out for Robbie also. Robbie One Kenobi also knows how to make WWE product a lot better. He just met the woman who's in charge of Bexplex City, Becky Lynch, as him and I called her back when he was doing a fantasy booking video. But make sure to check out his channel also, because he does videos, does some fantasy booking videos. I know he's been busy lately, but I do recommend whenever he gets a chance to do another fantasy booking video here and there to give more ideas out there, because they're awesome to hear. And he's destined to get into WWE and write for the product as well. So if you watch his channel and you like what you see, please get a hashtag Please Sign Robbie trending on Twitter as well. And of course, check out King Larry's and Killer Games channel as well. They're both, awesome guys and great, little subscribers to my channel as well. So just stay tuned for more to come on my channel, guys. Again, leave thoughts down in the comment section below. Be a response if you want to. Click my like and subscribe or contact my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandEverybody3. And guys, I am checking out. And this, instead of going have a great night and peace out, I'll do that. I'll end this by instead saying that this special stream will start to fade to black.